How we doing, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of FSI's PGA DFS Pick Show. I'm your host, PGA Nation 47, joined with John Cool 19, coming off of a wire-to-wire finish from JOAQUIN NIEMANN at Riviera. Very, I don't know, kind of like uneventful week for PGA, except unless you live in the Twitter space where it was all about Phil and the Saudi League and the fallout from that. But realistically, from a tournament standpoint, Riviera was kind of slow.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I had some Neiman lines, not enough of them, obviously. And basically after day one with Gooch letting me down pretty badly, kind of gave up on the event a bit. Although I did watch the majority of Sunday's coverage. It was still fun. I love the course there at Riviera. A lot of fun to watch still. So did enjoy that, even though my DFS lines were dead come basically Friday morning. But that's fine. We'll make a bounce back this week and hopefully pick it up here with the Honda.
Yeah, hey, touting and tipping golf is not easy. We've been kind of running pretty pure these first couple of weeks, coming out of the gates really hot, getting, winners off of the slides and coming away with winnings in our pockets. You're bound in the law of averages to have a bad week, and hopefully we can bounce back here for the start of the Florida swing. We have the Honda Classic. These Florida events kind of get shuffled around with who gets to start where and when, but give us a little bit of a rundown here, what to expect with the Honda Classic and what kind of event we're looking at this week.
Sure. Like you said, we are now switching gears and headed to Florida. This is the first event in Florida this year, but oftentimes it's quite a bit different schedule. And I think having it just after the Genesis basically led to a super weak field. There's a handful of golfers up near the top here, but really it's scary, especially coming off a week last week where basically everybody was playing that was healthy out of the top 50 in the world. And this week there is only a couple guys out of the top 50. So that's kind of the biggest thing to look at here is a very weak field. As far as the course goes, we are playing at PGA National. This is the championship course in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. This is a par 70, 7,100 yards. So we're losing the par fives this week. I am taking that kind of out of my modeling when I typically have par five scoring pretty highly rated. I'm instead just plugging in par four scoring, which I know isn't really a crazy stat. It's just a baseline number, but I'm not heavily weighting it, but really getting rid of that par five scoring this week. Bermuda grass greens. This is a Fazio design with Jack Nicklaus redesigned multiple times. So if you're interested in looking at Jack Nicklaus comp courses, that is at least something you can plug into your model using Fantasy National Golf Club. The course itself, tons and tons of water, lots of sand traps. This is a super difficult track. If you go outside the majors, this is about the most difficult course that the golfers will see all season long. So I'm looking at bogey avoidance. I'm not really looking at birdie or better, although I am including birdie or better on difficult scoring tracks. I think that's important this week to find guys who are still making some birdies when it's really, really tough to find them out on the course. So that is in my modeling. Distance is more important than accuracy this week. We do want some fairway accuracy. The main thing is you just don't want guys off the tee spraying it into the water. But if you hit the rough, that's really not too penal this week. We're looking at tee to green and just ball strikers, really. A couple other things I'm including is Bermuda putting, as well as proximity from 175 to 200. It kind of golfers tend to find themselves in that range a whole bunch on this course. And then scrambling, it's important this week. A lot of missed fairways, lots of missed greens, but really scrambling versus just around the greens, I'm finding is more important this week. So that's about it. I guess I can't go beyond talking about this course with the bear trap. That is holes 15 through 17. Extremely difficult stretch of 3 holes in golf. I don't know if you can find a tougher 3 holes out there. Very, very tough. You'll see a ton of water balls. Ryan Palmer, he'll find himself in there once or twice this week. He has the most water balls on the bear trap of anybody on the PGA Tour. So just something to look at, kind of fun watching guys go through there.
Yeah, this is the water ball special for Florida Swing. The Honda Classic is notorious for that. The only thing I would like to add in on the stats is sand saves. You see players like Ricky Fowler win here. You know, he's really good out of the sand. There's a lot of bunkers. There's a lot of waters. Like you said, there's just hazards pretty much everywhere you look. You can always find yourself in trouble. That kind of, you know, alludes to your scrambling metric, which I thought was really strong as well. And, you know, hey, approach shots, if you can gain 6 strokes on the field and approach, or, you know, what was Niemann last week? I know I'm going to talk about him here in a minute. Spoiler alert, but 7.1 on the approach, you can do well any event.
Sure.
So, yeah, I'm looking forward to the ball strikers this week. And yeah, keep yourself clean. Is the name of the game this week. Avoid the chalk bus as well. This is a notorious
Yes.
a chalk eater from a DFS standpoint. So if we can find ourselves off of the wrong chalk and onto the right plays, then we'll have ourselves a good week. So hopefully let's do that. Let's get into our picks. I'm going to start us off with my favorite of the week, that being Joaquin Niemann, winner of last week at 10-6. And usually I'm not the guy that goes to the winner of last week and then into him in the previous week or into the next week. But I just there's something about Niemann here that I think is just too good. And, you know, like we talked about with the weaker field, you know, I would probably never consider playing Niemann at 10-6. You know, we usually get him around 7K, 8K, but here he is 18-1. He's in elite form. He's excellent tee to green. He gained over 14 strokes on the field tee to green at Riviera. And you know, he's got some decent history here as well, with a 25th in 2021. A miscut in 2019. That's kind of going to be the course history here. You're either going to have a really strong finish or a miscut. That's just the Honda Classic in a nutshell. Any water ball can send you up or down the leaderboard at any point in time. I just think Niemann's ball striking too good at the moment for him to stay off of the top of the leaderboard, 14th in bogey avoidance. So I'm going back to the well with Niemann after not being on Niemann last week, and I'm hoping the form continues. Your thoughts on Niemann, and who is your favorite of the week?
Yeah, I definitely like the way Niemann played last week. He is in great form right now. He's only played a handful of events, really just I think a couple events in 2022, but playing very well. I like him as well. For me, off the top here, favorite play, Louis Oosthuizen. I play this guy a ton in DFS. He is at 10-8 this week, 16-1 odds to win. If I'm picking a winner up top, I might outright think Sungjae's got a better chance to win. Louis Oosthuizen he seems to find himself top 5 way more consistently than anybody else on tour, but he doesn't seem to win quite enough. But for me this week, DFS play, give me Louis Oosthuizen. His recent form, I'm showing on Fantasy National, he hasn't missed a cut since November of 2020. That's insane. He is just playing super, super well.
Yeah.
He was 14th at the Phoenix Open. That is his only start in 2022. He kind of took a handful of weeks off where everyone else was kind of getting into the swing of things. He took some time off. I'm sure he's out doing fun farming activities. But for him, the course history is really good as well. He's made the trip 4 times. He does have a couple miscuts, but he's 24th in 18. He was 21st in 2017, so I like that here. But he's playing much better golf now than I think he was 5-6 years ago. So I'll take that advantage as well. Plays really well in the wind, and we always expect there to be wind at this event. Right now, it's looking like it's going to be like moderate, but consistent the whole week. Not necessarily any crazy days, crazy spikes, but it's never going to be calm either. So I'm putting that into my modeling. He's really good at difficult scoring. He ranks 8th over the last 50 rounds there. 2nd on approach, 7th ball striking, 2nd in bogey avoidance, and 2nd in scrambling. So a whole lot to like about Louis. The stat model just loves him this week. And I'm also seeing in the betting market, he started off at like 20, 21-1 in most of the books. He's now down to 16-1. I think that is people just slamming the bets on Louis Oosthuizen. And I'm all for it. Again, I think Sungjae's got a better chance to win, but give me DFS Louis Oosthuizen this week.
Yeah, I've seen a ton of people bet Louis Oosthuizen, as well as like Billy Horschel, and there was one more guy that I see. Mito is on everybody's card this week. Yeah. I mean, he probably got bet down from 40 to 20 for all we know. But yeah, he's a pretty popular play, probably on DK as well at his price tag.
Yep.
So moving on to price tags, let's get to the value portion of the video. I'm going to start us off here and talk about Aaron Wise at 8,400. Aaron Wise, he was pretty good at over the course of the swing season. He was 26th at Sanderson Farms, 8th at the Shriners, and then he went from 5th at the CJ Cup to 15th at the Mayakoba, 26th at the Houston Open, and he did pretty well and in his course history as well. 13th in 2021, 35th in 2020, 33rd in 2018. So he's got a lot of history. He's not really in the greatest form as far as coming out of I believe he played off the top of my head, I think he played the Amex Farmers and the Waste Management Phoenix Open, and I don't remember him doing anything special in those events. I remember him being chalk at the Waste Management Phoenix Open. I don't think he did well there, but he gained strokes on the approach. And that's what I wanted to see, as I wanted to see the ball striking come back. 17th on the approach, 16th ball striking. So he's just he's going to get it together at some point. And he was too hot in the swing season for me to fall off of Aaron Wise. I think he's going to be a really low play this week at 8,400 in a field where
the recent form will give him that ownership dip. He was miscut Farmers, miscut Phoenix Open, and 67th last week. So basically dead last for everyone who made the cut. So I think you're right on the ownership dip. And he was playing some great golf leading into that.
Exactly. I think with all that being said, that's enough for me to jump on here to get off of chalkier plays and onto players that I think are just as good. Who just won't get that ownership. And then finally, I'm going to go with probably a guy that's going to be a little bit highly owned, Chris Kirk. I just don't know how people ignore him at this price tag at 7,500. He's a great course fit. Does really well on short Bermuda courses. Guy can stay out of the water. He's really elite tee to green, 18th in the field tee to green, 13th on bogey avoidance, and then 27th in par 4 scoring. He was 14th at the Waste Management Phoenix Open and 27th at the Sony, 2 coastal courses with some wind and water on them. So, 25th in 2021, a couple missed cuts and a 33rd in his last 4 events at the Honda Classic. Chris Kirk, definitely going to be in a cash consideration for me for the Honda Classic. Your thoughts and your favorite values of the week?
Yeah, I completely agree on Chris Kirk. He was one of my favorite value plays as well. He really pops in my modeling. I'm all for it. And Aaron Wise, I think the biggest thing you can get on him is if you look at the form over the last 6 months, super, super good. Avoiding the recent form and avoiding chalk is going to be big this week. So I do like that pick. For me, a little bit different route, and I don't know where the ownership's going to fall on these guys. I honestly didn't check too much on these two specifically. But for me, Johnny Vegas, first of all, he's playing some decent golf here. He was 55th last week, so I don't love that, but it was the putting that was terrible for him, which we know that Johnny Vegas isn't the best putter out there. But what he does great is distance off the tee, ball striking in general. He's really good on approach, 5th in the last 50 rounds, second ball striking, first greens in regulation. So he's going to find himself with quite a few birdie opportunities. He rates out really well when it comes to playing in windy conditions. And then the course history here, he's made the cut each of the last 5 years. He's made the cut 8 out of 9 times he's played at the Honda, and he was 4th in 2017, but consistently being top 30 over the last 3 years at this event. So I like that quite a bit for Johnny Vegas. The other guy I'm going with here is Christian Bezuidenhout. I like Christian quite a bit. I don't play him. I think you play him quite a bit more just because he's coming off of the Euro Tour, which I don't follow nearly as well as you do. But for me, I like him a lot this week. 8K on DraftKings, 50-1. I don't think he is a guy that's going to come in here and win this event. I think he's a much better play on DFS or really like a top 10 bet, something like that. I don't see him storming the field here. The putter did let him down last week. But before that, he was 14th at Pebble. He was 17th at the Sony Open. He's got no course history here, so I'm kind of leaning on other tough courses, some comp courses. He played well at the Memorial each of the 2 times he played there. That's another very difficult track. And he ranks 12th in the last 50 rounds when it comes to difficult scoring, so I like that a lot. As far as stats go, he's kind of up. He's not going to blow you away on anything. 29th on approach, 28th bogey avoidance, but really consistent across the board, 23rd scrambling. But the biggest thing probably for him, he is 6th in this field for Bermuda putting over the last 100 rounds. So I like that change versus some of the POA that we have seen lately in California. So give me some Zaidnut, and what do you think about these 2 guys?
Yeah, I really like Johnny Vegas as well with the course history. And of course, I'm going to be playing my guy, Zaidnut. Really good on Bermuda putting surfaces. And you really nailed it here with good on tough courses. Getting him away from California, I think is going to be really beneficial to him. I'm going to really like playing Zaidnut through the Florida swing. Really good with the long irons too. I could see him doing well at Bay Hill as well. So definitely on board with Zaidnut and Vegas. All right, moving into the sleeper slide. I'm going to go with a little bit of fun here. I'm going to take a shot on Harry Higgs at 6,700. We all have the memory of, the shirt lifting at the Waste Management Phoenix Open. But really what I remember from Harry Higgs in the past couple of weeks, -5 on the back 9 last week to make the cut at the Genesis. An incredible made cut there. I know he didn't do much on the weekend, but I don't think he was even expecting to make that cut, and to go eagle, birdie, eagle to make the cut on that back 9 was pretty crazy.
Sure.
19th, and I'm just poking fun at the model and looking around at guys down here in the 6K range. I found he was 19th in 2021 at the Honda Classic, and his numbers looked elite. He had gained 8.1 strokes on the approach in 2021 at the Honda Classic. If he doesn't lose 3 strokes putting, I mean, what to say about that performance? He could have been a top 5, even a winner last year. And to think where his putting statistics are right now, he's gained in 4 of the last 5 events with the putter. He's best putter on Bermuda, so he's getting his favorite putting surface. He's going to a course where it looks like he's really comfortable, 2 for 2 with made cuts. If you just ignore the model statistics, because he's going to be up and down. That's Harry Higgs. It's gonna look ugly at points, but I think this is going to be a boom week. And I think we're going to get it sub 5% ownership. And you're going to have a lot of fun watching this guy play. So I'm in for Harry Higgs and some fun down here at the bottom. Your thoughts on him and your sleeper of the week?
Yeah, you said we're going to have a little bit of fun. Harry Higgs is a lot of bit of fun. As soon as you said Harry, I had to make sure that he had his photo on this slide. The shirt always open, usually a huge smile on his face. He's a guy that you can't stop from just loving to watch him play. He's having so much fun out there. Big fan favorite of Harry Higgs. For me, as far as a sleeper goes, I'm going with Matthew NeSmith this week. He is a guy that I pick pretty consistently across DFS. I've been playing him more than probably I should at some events, but I do like him this week. He's 150 to 1 in the betting odds. He's a guy that I would take a stab at way down here. This event tends to have has had quite a few golfers over 100 to 1 odds win over the handful, like the last 10 years or so. I think there's 4 or 5 winners that have come deeper than 100 to 1 odds, even a couple at over 200 to 1 odds. So if you're going to play in this event, it is okay to go for some bombs. Matthew NeSmith fits that for me. His last 2 years here at this event, 38th and 36th, so some decent course history there. Bermuda grass is his best putting surface, although he isn't the best putter in this field, that's for sure. But the last 50 rounds, 8th on approach, 25th ball striking, and 21st in greens and regulation. I like that a lot. That proximity range that I mentioned before, 175 to 200, he is 10th in that range also. So I think he's got a good chance this week for a really good showing. Probably low owned.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I'm definitely having Naismith. That's another guy that I was looking at in the 6K range. I had him circled as well. But I knew again, I had a feeling you were going to pick him this week. You know, if I'm looking at Naismith as like a top play down here, I'm like, oh yeah, I definitely know John's going to be all over Naismith this week. He's been in some great form too.
Yeah.
A lot of bogeys on the cards, but he has filled up the birdies in the recent weeks, especially in par four scoring. So I love Naismith. All right, heading to the one and done slide to round things out for this video. I'm going to go with Keith Mitchell this week. Kind of a, if we want to just recap real quick, T33 for me. I think you unfortunately got stuck with DJ Chalk, and that did not end well. I later found out that he was going through posture changes with his swing. So now he's about to get married, and his wife's on the Bachelorette tour that's going on this weekend. So I'm not sure where DJ's head's at mentally. So might be a fade in the coming weeks for me. Just a quick note on DJ's status.
Sure.
But yeah, we're happy to get past the Genesis Invitational, and yeah, okay, going with Keith Mitchell here for my one and done for the Honda Classic. He's a miscut, a first, a miscut, and a 59. That is his recent form here at the Honda. It's boom or bust. In a weak field, I mean, it's you could take Sanjay or you could take Louis, and you could just lock in a nice top 20. But I'm just going to go for it because I feel like, hey, a miscut or T45th, it's all the same right now. The only thing that's going to move needles is top 10s. And to stay, and I think we were talking a little bit before, Mitchell probably not going to be as highly owned in the one and done pool as Sanjay and Louis and them. So I'm going to take a shot with Keith Mitchell. I was also considering Shane Lowry. That was my back and forth. So if anyone's listening, wondering, who are some other names if they don't want to use Keith Mitchell or they've already used Keith Mitchell, Shane Lowry would be like my, 1B. Your thoughts on Mitchell and your one and done of the week?
For me, Sungjae, another former winner, just like Keith Mitchell. I think one more guy that we haven't mentioned, Daniel Berger. I think the health issue is a serious concern here this week. I don't know if I'll either be full fade or I will be chewing up the low ownership if it comes out that way. He's like a perfect course fit here for the Honda, but we just don't know on that the health. Fleetwood might be a popular choice here, or even Ricky Fowler, I think, just with the course history. But I won't be going that way on either of those two guys. Give me Sungjae. I need some points pretty badly to jump back in this. I'm not overly concerned. Long season, plenty of majors coming up, but I've had quite a few misses the last few weeks. So hopefully Sungjae can bring it home for me.
Yeah, you need to get on the board here with a solid top 5, get you a nice paycheck, and get you rocketing up that leaderboard. All right, guys, that'll probably do it for us. Any final words, John, on the Honda Classic?
Nope. Expect carnage. There's going to be tons of water balls.
Yes.
If you are watching via Shot Tracker on Thursday and Friday, expect to want to shut down at some point in time because one of your golfers has put a ball in the water twice on the same hole. There is, I think it's 15 out of the 18 holes have water in play on them. Your guy's going to hit it in the water. Yeah. Just suck it up. Understand it's going to happen, and don't throw your phone because of the PGA Tour shot link. Just know it's coming.
Yeah, this is Carnage Week. Such a stressful week. Yeah, not much more to say than that. All right, John, thank you again for joining me and giving us these great insights on the golfers for the Honda Classic. Guys, if you want, please like this video, comment below. It is going a long way. We've had a lot of good numbers on our videos this week. Just want to give you guys a big thank you and keep it up. And hopefully this information is as helpful for you as it always is for us. And you can find our Discord link on our Twitter handle at FSI_DFS or on our website, FSIDFS.com. All cores are posted to the website and the Discord. And our John sheet, which just came out yesterday, is in the chat live already. So, come join and let's get it going for the Florida Swing. Good luck, guys.
Sweet. Good luck.